still the same thing as last week. Pretty much waiting for it to come down, retrace back to this level. And then we're going to see how it reacts. So this is the move that I'm looking to see. So I'm looking to see a move either here and go up, or if it is very strong, then you could see it continually pull down or continuously pull down to here and then go up. Because we have two levels. So we have this level of resistance that I feel is going to become a support level. And then we have this level right here. So with this level being this low, it's probably going to pull back to a 900 EMA area. But on our daily, that is around like the 200 EMA area. So if we can get those lines to cross and get them to meet, that would be great, actually. That would be a great area to buy, honestly. So yeah, those are the two scenarios that I'm looking at. Basically, I'm looking for the rejection of two areas that was a resistance that has now become a support. Well, it haven't become a support yet, but I do feel that it will become a support based off past situations. Like, it's usually how it occurs with gold. Gold is a pair that really loves market structure. And what I mean by that is, once you start trading and stuff like that, you'll see some pairs that respect market structure more so than others. And gold is one of those pairs to me. So once you start to recognize it and understand like how market structure works and understand the possibilities that it could go or the direction that it could go, then gold will become a lot easier to trade. But it's also one of those where you have to react to it, react to the market, and actually not even just gold, but every single currency pair, react to the market and then base your trades off of that. So I'm waiting to see the rejection off of either this top zone right here. Then if it breaks past this zone, then it will go down to the bottom zone, which is down here. And I'm going to be looking for a rejection off of that. So we will see. But this bottom one will more than likely be the one that it rejects off of, depending off the strength that it has when it gets to this area. So if it has a lot of momentum, once it gets to this area, so what I mean by momentum is if I start to see large red candles breaking through this zone, then I know it's going to continue to sell. So if I have large red candles, like over here, we got this large green candle breaking through this zone right over here. So that lets me know, like, okay, this is going to continue to buy up, which it did. It bought up from here all the way up to the next zone, which is up here. So that's the type of reaction that I'm looking to see once it break through for the sale. And then we're going to continue to get back in for it, or we're going to react to it, get in for the buy. Because gold is definitely bullish. I feel like I'm going to be bullish once it gets to a good area to buy back in at. So, yeah.
What time? Like, is this the next hour or?
So when it comes to this, I can't really say a time. You know, it's whenever it happens, and we have to be prepared for it. So that's why I set up my alerts. I have an alert set for here already. And then if it crosses this, I'm going to come look at the charts. I'm going to see what type of momentum it has. And if it continues to sell, then it's going to activate this alert down here. And that's when I'm going to really start keying in on it. But there's really no time limit on it, you know. It could happen tomorrow, or it could happen Wednesday. You know, there's really no determined date that it could happen, but we just want to be prepared for when it does get to that moment and ready to take that opportunity if it sets up for us. So that's another thing too. Like, even though I'm discussing these opportunities and telling y'all, okay, I want to take this trade right here, that doesn't mean that the opportunity is necessarily going to be there for us. If it's not given the right look, then I'm still not going to take the trade, even if it comes to these two areas. And we're just going to have to wait and see what the market gives us. But in both of these areas, we have bullish momentum breaking through both of these zones. So we have a large green candlestick right here. We got another a large green candlestick right here. So that tells me, okay, these are areas that we more than likely need to pay attention to once it pulls back to this area. Or if the market was to pull back, these are the areas that we need to pay attention to, because obviously buyers wanted to power through these areas, right? So that's an indication that, okay, if there's going to be a pullback area, then it's more than likely going to be to one of these. And like I said, we're going to see how the market reacts once it gets there. And if it reacts how we want it to, then it's going to create the opportunity for us and we're going to capitalize off of it. So I would not set no stop loss or no TP or even a market order or nothing like that until I see which buying area I want to get in at. Nas, I'll let you guys know about that during the weeks. So I'm gonna have to get up like in the morning. If there's any setups, you guys can get up in the morning with me as well. I'll be up at 8 a.m. That is when I'll try to send the Zoom link. And yeah, we'll see. Except I may not trade Wednesday or Thursday, since that is around the holiday time. Might see some type of crazy stuff going on in the market around those times. So my next setup was Euro NZD, and as you guys see, this is the same exact setup from last week. So we got to this area all throughout last week, and I told you guys that if it broke below this red line right here, I'm gonna make it green so you guys. So this was my support, and these were my resistance lines up here. So I was either looking for a break above my resistance or a break below my support, and I was going to look for the retest on both. So these are the lines that you guys see here. So if it was to break above my resistance, I was going to, let it break above. I was going to look for the retest so I could therefore enter the trade for the buy. And then for the support level, I was going to let it break below the support level, come back up and retest, and then look for a sale. But as you guys see here, it got very, very noisy around the support area. So that's why I never did trigger a trade or, let you guys know if I wanted to get in for a trade. But what I do see here is the market creating lower highs and lower lows. So it looks like this market wants to sell. But we will have to see. So I am looking for another break. And I'm thinking about maybe here. So it has come down to a zone and what we're looking for now is just the breakout. So we're looking for the breakout out of this zone right here, If we can get it, then we're going to take this trade. Now, this could either break out and go up. If it break out, you guys know we're going to try to look for buying areas then. But if it breaks below and tries to sell, we're going to wait for the retest. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this market, but I will not activate a buy until it breaks above this high. So I'm going to set an alert for this area right here. So unless it breaks above this previous high right here, then that is when I'll maybe potentially look for buying trades, but not before then, because this is just noise right here. It is so much noise right here that there's no really there's no real confirmation of where this market could potentially go to. But like I said, it is kind of acting like it's wanting to sell off, and it's been selling off for a very, very, very long time. But it also got to come back and fill in this area right here. It has to come back in and fill in this area. So could be getting ready to do that, or could sell off even more. Our job is to basically sit here and we're going to react to it. We're going to react to whatever it gives us. So definitely looking for it to come back and fill back in that area though. Let's look deeper into it. Let's see. Go down to the 1 hour.
So we will buy when it sold off more, or when it started bouncing back up, I guess.
You said when will we buy?
Yeah, at that point, like, are we waiting for it to go even lower?
So for the buy, we're actually waiting for it to go up higher. So we're waiting for it to give us confirmation like, okay, this market is about to reverse and buy back up. And the only way that we will know that is if it breaks above previous highs and create higher lows. So
okay.
Yep. So once it starts creating higher highs and higher lows, I won't look for a buy though until it breaks above this zone, because then I'll know, or I may take it serious then once it starts breaking above this zone or this red line at least. So once it break above that red line, then I'll take it serious and I'll start looking for buys. But until then, we're neutral in the market. And then even if I do take a buy, I may take it like up to here. So just a little 100 pip trade from this zone to this previous high. So that's when I'm gonna activate that. Now, if I do decide to swing this, nah, I'm gonna just stick to that for right now. I'll get to that if it gives us that setup, but yeah, we will see. So that's my setup for Euro NZD. So about the same situation. Boom, boom. Get the retest. Back up. And then the alternative is the sell. So does that make sense? Like, you see why I'm pretty much looking at that?
Yeah, because once it hits the, it's like refreshing itself. So
Yeah, I went back to it.
See what I kind of like, I guess, look at is like, is this in a matter of days, or this can happen in the next 24 hours? Or?
So pretty much just like how we were looking at with gold, there's no specific time limit. Like whenever that opportunity presents itself to us, then we're going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I never set like a limit on how long I'm looking for a setup, because there's no telling how long it may take. I'm gonna let the market come to me. I'm not going to chase the market. You know what I'm saying? So that is one lesson that I learned with trading. Like, never chase the market. Let's say this thing shoots up and doesn't come back down for the retest, and we end up missing out on it. Well, then, hey, if I'm able to see it and I can react to it, then I'll react to it and capitalize on that buy opportunity and just trade with the continuation. But if it ends up leaving me, then oh well. You know, I'm not going to chase the market. I'm not going to try to force the opportunity upon myself and try to create a trade that isn't really there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I really never say like, oh, I'm looking for this to happen in the next hour or 24 hours or anything like that, because we don't really know for sure when it may happen. But when it does happen, I'm going to make sure that I'm ready. I'm going to make sure that I have my account ready and that I'm able to take that trade whenever it does come to me. So I'll let every single trade come to me instead of me chasing the trades.
Okay. So I would look at this on like a daily basis type of thing.
Yep. Or, that's why we set the alerts and stuff too. So therefore, I don't have to look at it all day. I just set my alerts. My phone notifies me whenever it gets to a certain point, and I just be like, okay, let me go check out the charts and see if this is reacting the way that I want it to. And if it is, then boom, we're in there for the trade.
Okay. I need to get that app.
Yeah, Trading View. You'll just log in, just same account, and everything will transfer over. So like everything that I'm marking up now, I can see it on my phone as well.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
So Gbp Jpy, I discussed this trade yesterday in my video, and I still feel like it's gonna come back down a little bit, but I would have loved to enter. Like, I would have loved to enter at least right here in this wick or somewhere right here, because it did come back down to my second scenario. So this is why I always create two scenarios for myself, just in case one on fail. Like this one, we entered right here. This one was the first scenario. It went its plan, and then it didn't go all the way up to like my TP, but it did go as planned. We got the rejection. It bought up a little bit, and then boom, it sold down, came back and hit our stop loss, and now it triggered the second scenario, which is it could pull back farther and come back and retest this trend line. And that's exactly what it did. It came back and retested the trend line and our demand zone. So retested both of those right here at this point, rejected off of it, and now it's buying up. But I want to give myself a better opportunity, so I'm going to see if it comes down even more. If it don't, and just continue to buy up again, so be it. We're just going to try to get in where we can fit in at and react to the market. So We're gonna see. I do feel like it's gonna retrace again, though. Like I feel like it's gonna consolidate a little bit because there is some confusion going on over in the Great British Pound economy. So, or the Great Britain economy. So, I feel like it's going to consolidate for a bit. So we may get the opportunity to re-enter right here, and if we do, we're going to take it. But
Okay.
I'm looking for it to come back down to either one of these zones. And I really would love to enter right here because it's not exactly an inverted head and shoulders pattern. It's not like a pretty one, but you will usually see this pattern a little bit, where it will create a support level, then dip a little bit lower, and then buy up, and then come back down and retest right off of this previous support level that was over here instead of dipping all the way back down here. And then it'll just retest right here and buy up. So that's what I'm looking to see. If we can get that, that would be great. So I'm waiting on that for Gbp Jpy. Yeah. And just to let our trade for last week for Gbp Jpy did go exactly as planned. We entered down here and we caught these pips all the way up here. So we closed out at the previous resistance and we took our money and we basically caught the re-entry right here, got these little bit of pips, and then it rejected and came down. Now it's back down here. So this is a very strong level for the Great British Pound and Japanese yen. So we're waiting for a break above 155 would definitely solidify the buy and the bulls in the market. But we're gonna take what we can, and if we can get this break above this right here, we can get this break above this, that'll be great. So I'm gonna look for possible re-entries. If we can enter again on this trade, swing it all the way up to this zone, then I will be looking for re-entries around this area if it breaks above and continues back in a buy momentum. So,
which pair is this?
Gbp Jpy. So
Okay.
I'll see two trades in one. You know, we're gonna swing this entry and then hop in right here if it gets to this point and continues to show bullish momentum. So we're gonna wait and see. But I'm not grabbing an entry unless it comes back down here or I get a break back above this red line. On Euro USD, I was waiting for, let me zoom out so you guys can actually see. So it didn't pull all the way back as I wanted it to. Nearly did. But we did. We got the break below. Actually, let me get rid of all this. Get rid of all this. So just redraw it. So we kind of had like a falling triangle. And what I was looking for was to break out either above or below. We got the breakout below. And then I wanted it to come all the way back up to this trend line right here and then continue down. It looks like it's coming a little bit short though. So, or like it came just a little bit short. So it pulled back and now it's selling down right here. So I do have an order block right here. So this could be my next re-entry level if it does not come all the way back up here. So same setup, just a lower entry. Just say look for.
And you say you can like share like your markup on TradingView?
Yeah, I'm gonna share in a group chat. I'm gonna send it in a group chat as well. Every single pair that I said I'm looking for a possible trade opportunity, I'm gonna send it in the group chat.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah. If it does not pull back up here, then this is going to be our possible entry area or entry zone right here. And we're going to wait for that and see what happens. Let's look a little bit back. All right, so on the weekly, it came back in and filled in this area right here. So this is what I mean by like the market having to fill back in areas. Yep. So we had this big buying zone right here. Like we had all of this big bullish momentum, right? That covered a lot of area. But we did not see the market come back down and fill back in this zone. So it wasn't like a gradual increase in the market. You know what I'm saying? It was like instant almost. Within 3 weeks, the market was just buying up tremendously. So instead of having a market like this, where it's, you know, you see a mixture of green candles and red candles in between, and it's gradually working its way down. You see that? As compared to this market over here, instantly buying up with a lot of momentum. So that tells me, okay, the market is more than likely going to come back and fill in this area. And we see that's what it's doing right now. So now that it has come back and filled in this area, so it has come back and filled in from this zone. And now we're waiting to see if it's going to continue to sail back down and come back all the way down here. Or is it going to bounce off of this and then buy up? So that's on a weekly. That's for like a major swing trade. And we're just going to have to wait. So with this being a weekly setup, this could take maybe 2 weeks to play out. This trade could definitely take about 2 weeks. I'm about to get rid of the old. So these are the possible scenarios for this. So we can still get the retest possibly of our trend line and then it sell all the way down here. or we are going to get it selling maybe to this level and then buying up. So those are the two scenarios that we're looking for Euro USD. And based on the news that comes out this week, that will determine what may happen. Let's see. Also could have some divergence going on. So I may be looking for the buy once it gets to this area. So once it gets to this area, I'm definitely going to be looking for the buy. So I'm going to make that line green. And this will be my target. That'll be for a swing trade. I may go a little bit smaller. I may go down to the 1 hour time frame and then take the mini trade for that. So I might twin trade that, one for the swing and then one just to collect my 100 pips and get out the market. And what I mean by that is basically I'll be twin trading. So I take two different entries, or I'll take two separate trades, but at the same exact entry. So basically I hop in the same trade twice, and one I'll treat like a swing trade. So I'll hold that one longer. And then the next I'll just collect my money as the market goes. But that is Euro USD.
You say you will make two trades on the same. What you mean?
Yep. So let's say I was to take an entry right here on Euro USD. I would enter twice. So instead of entering for one position, I would enter at the same position 2 times, and then you can treat them the same. Like I made a video on it. So basically to explain twin trading is you can take two entries in the same trade, and you can either treat one, like take one trade to TP1 and then the other trade to TP2. So one entry will automatically pull you out at TP1, and then one entry will automatically pull you out at TP2. So your two targets. So therefore you could capitalize on both targets being hit instead of one. Like, you know, if you set a trade and you take it all the way to TP1, then let's say it keep on going and you miss out on it hitting TP2. So instead of you only being able to take advantage of one opportunity, you'll basically be able to take advantage of two.
Yeah, I know. That makes sense.
You said what?
I said, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So with that being said, though, there is a disadvantage to it as well. So if their trade was to go in the opposite direction, then you're going to take two losses. Like, you know, so there is the other side to it. But as long as you still use proper risk management, and I say if you twin trade with one pop a smaller lot size. Pop a smaller lot size with one of them entries, and then your other entry can be like maybe half of the biggest lot size that you could pop. So let's say you can pop a mini lot size.
Mm-hmm.
A mini lot size is the biggest lot size that you can pop according to your account balance. So that means I would pop a 0.05 for one entry, and then the other entry I'll pop a 0.01. And then the 0.01 would be the one that I would swing, and then the 0.05 would probably be the entry that I would use to just collect my 100 pips and get out the market. So that's how you would treat. There's a couple ways that you could twin trade and stuff like that. But like I said, I do got videos on all of that in my course. I got videos on how to use all type of stuff. So let me go to it. Like I can show you real quick, so you'll know exactly which videos that they are. And it's a very powerful I won't even say it's a strategy, but it is a very powerful tool that you can use to take advantage of your trade opportunities. But if you're going to do that, I would definitely suggest, like, you know, continuously moving your stop loss and profit, and being smart with. So here you go. So I got profit scaling, retest scaling, how to scale a trade, and filler scaling. So how to scale a trade is the one that I talked about twin trading in. And then I also talked about all three of these different ways to scale a trade, but I also made separate videos for them going deeper or going in deeper detail about it as well. So all that is here in the advanced folder. So you can check that out there and learn more about it.
Yeah, I think I need to upgrade my Dropbox.
Yeah, it probably needs to update it. But GBP USD, could be setting up for a sale, honestly. But got a little divergence going on here. From here to here, and then here to here. So on our charts, we see that the market is lower, right? It created a lower high, and it's ultimately at a lower point than where it was compared to when it was up here. But on our RSI, it looks like we are higher, or there's more tension for sellers here in this area. So we got the retest of here already, and I would have loved to enter right here. And I definitely would have loved to enter right here, because on the 4-hour, we are in momentum for sellers. Very strong momentum. I have my separation between my EMAs. I had got the retest right here. Everything is setting up pretty nice. So looks like this is going to be making some noise for a while, because it is also at a very strong buy area, or where buyers are in the market. So I'm going to look for the bounce off of this one more time. If I can get that bounce off of this, then I will take that sell. Or this could end up buying up because it is at a demand zone as well. So this could end up buying up. I'll look for the retest off of this because they got to create a higher low as well. So I feel like my higher low will probably be at this level. And then if it bounces off of this, then we'll take that buy up. But I like the sell more so than the buy, if you want me to be honest. But we will have to see. So using my fib, for my buy opportunity, you can either take it right here, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what type of candlesticks we get right here. Depending on the candlesticks that we get right here, will determine if I take a buy. Because I would like this buy better. If I get this bullish momentum going up, then get the rejection off of this level of structure right here, and then buy up. Right here, I just feel like it's too noisy right now. But, you know, it still could be setting up for a great opportunity. So we will see. We will see. We'll take what the market give us. But so far, it is creating lower highs and lower lows. So until I get any other confirmation that buyers are in the market, sellers are still in control right now, from what I see. From what I see, sellers are still in control. So this one, instead of setting alerts, I'm gonna have to set my eye on it. I'm gonna watch it and keep in touch with it on a daily basis to see how it is moving. Usdjpy, almost the same thing as Euro USD. Came a little bit shorter of where I wanted it to retest to. I wanted it to come down here, but we still have the chance that it can come down here, honestly. We'll just have to wait for the opportunity to present itself. Once it does, we're going to take that. So if it retouches, it'll retouch at a support level in our trend line. And we'll have to make sure everything else lines up as well. So same setup. I'm looking for this to come down. And then boom. We continue on with the trend. Let's check this out on a daily. So yeah, it is approaching a previous high. It's approaching a previous high that was in the market, a very strong resistance in the market actually. So we definitely could get that rejection for the sale as well. Got some divergence going on here. So it did exactly what I thought it would for the buy. So this was a previous markup that I had. I did miss this opportunity though, but we had this trend above where the actual market was. But same thing. It was marking up for an uptrend, but we got the break above the trend. And I was looking for it to come back down, reject, and buy up. That's exactly what we got. We got, you see it wicked out right here at the black trend line and then bought up. But I'm looking for this to sell now. We may be able to get some trade opportunities for a sale if I can get a strong rejection off of this candle. So
like for my very first trade, which one would be, I guess, like you feel like would be
the ideal trade for you to take?
Yeah.
Let me get done looking at all the setups and then I'll see which ones are my favorite.
Cause I'm like hands on. I gotta just do it so I can,
Now I do understand, like, we're looking at a lot of trades right now. We are looking at a lot of trades right now.
Right.
So it's like, I don't want you to try to take every single trade. No, it's not what I want. And I don't intend on taking every single trade. This is the same thing as last week. I'm doing exactly what I did last week. And I only ended up taking 2 trades all of last week. So it's like, we only going to take what presents itself. But I will see what are my favorite trade setups in a little bit. I can get rid of these because so USD CAD ended up breaking above this trend. So now we're looking for buy opportunities. We are looking for our buy opportunities. So 2 possible ways that this can go. And my favorite one would be, it going up a little bit, coming down here, buying up. And that would be my favorite one. Now, that could take a while to play out. But a little short term would be, go up and then reject off of this zone and then buy up. But either way, I'm only looking for buys on USD CAD. is my favorite setup right now for USD CAD. I'll look for the sell opportunities, but I feel like it broke past all of my sell opportunities that I had marked up. So I feel like it's bullish right now, and we're gonna take advantage of that. We're gonna trade with that momentum. So if it breaks above this high, right here, then I know for sure that this market is going to continue buying up. But we could get the rejection off of it first. That's what's going to cause it to come back down. Then we could re-enter for the buy. But it's in the middle of a zone right now. I don't really like to trade in the middle of zones. We could maybe take advantage of this smaller opportunity and get the retest like on a smaller time frame and maybe buy it up to this zone, which is probably what I'm going to look for the buy for short term, at least. That could take this whole week. So we could get the retest right here, get in for the buy. And yeah, because you do have the crossing up now. So got the cross right here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. See, I'm going to look for possible buy opportunities for USD CAD. I'm going to look for buy opportunities for USD CAD. I will have to just see where I may want it to pull back to. Maybe here. So if it pulls back to here, then I will look for a buy opportunity. If it pulls back to this support, I will look for a buy opportunity here. We may be getting a teacup set up. So you don't have to worry about this. It's just one of the patterns. But if I can get this teacup set up, boom, might be here. This is the idea setup that I would like. So we're gonna have our handle right here. Boom. So this will be my buy. Because we have made our dip. It's retracing back up. Now, I wanted to break out of here. This is the buy that I want. So I needed to break out of here. I needed to come down, retest, break out. Once it break out, we're in for that buy. And we're going to take that up to this zone or this previous high, either one of these. So this will be TP1. That will be TP2. So you asked me what is my favorite setup. If this one goes according according to plan, this will be my favorite setup. USD CAD.
It's a teacup thing in your video too. In your the playlist.
It is not, because I don't really like teaching patterns. Flaws with patterns that I don't like is most of the time they're not perfect. And what I mean by that is, like, some pattern setups are clear as day. You know, you can look at a chart and see, oh, this is a head and shoulders pattern. This is an inverted head and shoulders, or this is a double top, double bottom, and stuff like that. But a majority of the time, you don't really get a lot of clean setups with patterns. Now, that doesn't mean I hate patterns, because as you see, I still use them, right? So it's like, if I see a clean setup with a pattern, especially patterns that I have profited off of before, then I will apply that pattern. And if it goes according to everything else, like if it matches up with all of my other confirmations, then I would take that trade. So USD CAD right now is kind of matching up with everything else, with it bouncing off of this support level right here, or this resistance that I feel like is now going to become a support and then buy up to this zone or this zone. So if everything else lines up when that opportunity comes, then, you know, it's good to have this pattern also confirming that. You know what I'm saying? But
okay,
some patterns work, some patterns don't. And I could make the video showing patterns that have worked for me and how to mark them up or how to see them in the market whenever they present themselves. So
the patterns themselves, are they just based on just analysis of the whole, like the market over like some weeks or something, or
yeah, so it's like it's based off of. All right, so to make this simpler, you know how we look at, or how we used to look at the stars in the sky, and we go put together like an image, or we'll like, hey, that's the Big Dipper and Little Dipper and stuff like that. So that's kind of what you're doing with the market. You're looking at these candlesticks and these market patterns, and you're basically identifying it as, oh, hey, that's a double top, that's a double bottom. And you know, like the rarity of actually seeing a Big Dipper and stuff like that is almost like that with patterns. Like a very clean pattern is just like seeing the Big Dipper in the sky. So it's like when you're just looking at the market, just like how we used to just stare at the stars and stuff like that, and then you start to recognize a pattern or familiarize yourself with a pattern, and you be like, hey, I recognize that. Okay. Now, last time I saw a pattern like that, this happened or that happened. And you will look for those same indications that you saw last time. So like, let's say with a double top, which is when the market comes up and retouches just like this. So this is a double top right here. So we got the first touch of a resistance area. Then it sold down, then it came back up and wicked out up here again, right? And then it sold down. Okay. So now familiarize yourself with it. Okay, a double top is when the market comes back and retouches a strong strong resistance area or supply zone twice before it really sells down. Okay. So we got the first confirmation. Familiarize yourself with this pattern. Boom. These candlesticks right here. So next time you're trying to look for a double top, you want to see something like this. Okay. Let me remember that. Let me write that down in my notes. So then when it comes back up and retouch again, you have this confirmation right here. So now what we're looking for is this. So once you get this twice off a double top, or once you get this on the second touch, then that's a confirmation. Okay, this market is about to sail down. This is a double top pattern. Let me enter this trade or find out where I want to enter this trade at. So that's how it is for recognizing patterns. But not all of them are like going to be pretty. Not all of them are going to be perfect. And you just have to get used to analyzing them or recognizing them in the market. We got some very strong divergence going on here too. Very strong divergence. This on the 4 hour. Let's go to the daily and see. Okay. So that's what we're getting on the daily. So we're just going to wait for that setup. But if USD CAD goes according to plan, that is definitely going to be my favorite setup for sure. And this handle could be bigger. You know, it could be bigger. We're just going to have to wait and see. So we have done our technicals. We've done our technicals. Let's see what's going on in the market this week as of news. Let's do our fundamental analysis. So let's see if anything may add up with what we are looking for. All right, so Monday. So we got a flash service going on, and every single pair that we trade. All of this is going on Tuesday, so we will have to check back with the market Tuesday, see how everything is turning out, or see how this news reflects on the market. So we'll have to come back and see if this stuff turns out good or bad. If it turns out good, it's going to give a boost to these currency pairs. We want a good outcome for USD, so we could look for that buy opportunity on USD CAD.
And the news changes like every day, or refreshes.
Yeah, that comes out every single day. Now, some of it is relevant. I cannot talk right now. Some of it is not. Wednesday is going to be a very big day for the US dollar.
right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But I don't know if I want to trade that day. But it could affect USD CAD because the oil is connected with the Canadian dollar, and depending on the outcome of that, we're going to see how that affects the Canadian dollar and how it affects the US dollar. And that will more than likely determine a USD CAD trade. So Tuesday and Wednesday, need to definitely watch for the market. I don't want to take any trades on Thursday, to be honest. It's a holiday. I do not like taking trades on holidays. German import prices. Boom. So we'll have to watch this at 2 a.m. for GBP. So if we take any GBP trades or Euro, which Euro USD is a trade that we were looking to take, you want to watch these. Basically 2 o'clock. So I may close all of my trades Thursday night. I may close my trades Thursday night, depending on how everything is going. But yeah. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we definitely want to watch the market and keep up with the news. Let's see what investing.com is saying. So all okay. So we already got some news coming out that's and you see it happening. Yeah. So Euro USD could sell this week based off of that news. Now I'm not going to let that determine my whole outlook on the trade, but definitely something to keep an eye out for this retest and then the sell down again. So with the US dollar rising and the euro falling, I'm definitely looking to maybe get a minor retest, not of this, maybe of this trend or this line right here. And if we can get some confirmations for the sale, I'm taking that sell opportunity. No doubt. I'll be taking that sell opportunity. Because that's what the fundamental analysis is going to go for. The US dollar rose a lot last week. And now we still have the news to come out for Tuesday and Wednesday, which could change that. So we will see. And some of these trades may be better set up for next week. So we'll have to see. So yeah, the rest of this is basically talking about
So what's the difference between this and Forex Factory?
So Forest Factory pretty much lets me know what is going on this week as of meetings, as of like economic news releases or stuff like that, like press conferences and stuff like that. So that's what I use for that. And it helps me understand or start to learn more like what some of these meetings mean and how it can affect the economy. So that's why I love Forest Factory, because I'm still learning fundamental analysis myself. So it's like with me still getting into it, I'm starting to learn that some of this stuff affects the economy in a good way or a bad way, depending on what news comes out about it. And then I come to investing.com to see stuff that like other stuff that may be going on. So this lets me know basically events that are coming up, and this goes into detail about other economic stuff or the events that have taken place in the week. So that's basically what I use them for. About show the same thing, but I really do like both of them. I like Bloomberg as well. I mainly use investing.com though, because that was what I started with, so I just stuck with it. It's still really good though.
Like, are there people meeting up and making this news? And like, how do?
Yep. So it's basically like determined by central banks and people like them in the world that meet up, and usually they give like news and they kind of give hints on the direction that they do want to head towards for that economy. So sometimes they may give hints like, hey, we want to raise inflation or we want to weaken our dollar. Like sometimes these countries weaken their dollar, like the US dollar may be weaker or it may be weakened. So therefore they can do better on exports. So imagine like Gucci being sold for the low, it's going to get bought more, right? It's going to be better for their business because they're getting more consumers and everybody want to shop with them. So it's basically, think of it like that with the US dollar. If they weaken their dollar, everybody going to want to shop with the United States, So some they give, indications on that and stuff. So that's why we read up on the news, do fundamental analysis. But I always say, like, don't use fundamental analysis to hop into a trade. You can use fundamental analysis to find out the direction of a trade, like we just did then with the Euro USD. We looked at the direction that trade could go in, which was down because of the news that had came out. But I also stated, I'm not going to hop in that trade unless I get more confirmations and everything else lines up with it. So I know the direction that I may want to go in for this week. But until everything else lines up with that, I'm not going to take that trade. So I'll use my fundamental analysis to find out the direction and use my technical analysis to enter that trade. So it's a couple stuff that comes with it. You got to actually dive deep into the economy, and it's not just learning the United States economy. You got to learn the economy of every single pair that you trade. So if you trading Usdjpy, you got to know what's going on in Japan as well. You got to know what's going on in Canada. You got to know what's going on in Britain. So all of that stuff, you just got to understand the different economies. And that's why, like, I don't have a lot of pairs on my watch list. I've taken a lot of them off because I just want to focus on a couple of them, learn how they move. Once I learn how they move, then I'll go on to other stuff, But it's hard to try to watch like every economy and know what's going on in every single one of them all at once. So I'm just taking it slow right now, understanding it, and so far it's been working for me. So that's why I'm gonna continue to just grow and keep on applying everything that I've been learning. So that will be the end of the call, though.